Hello, I'm Mo Augusto, and I'm the founder of M.O.T, the fashion brand. In celebration of our new collection that's being launched this summer, we decided to sit and have conversations with women that we find inspiring. A lot of people have these conversations about work specifically, and I really believe that as women, there are different elements of our lives that have to come together to help us self-actualize, whatever that means. And so today we're going to be having very raw and authentic conversations about the different areas of our lives. We're talking family, motherhood, relationships, work. We're really excited to dig deep and find out how these women that we're inspired by navigate what I call millennial womanhood. Today we're going to be talking to Tobi Hamilton. Tobi is a creative entrepreneur, disruptor, ingenious and constructive thinker with a wealth of experience across a range of sectors. She founded The House, which is a leading social house concept lounge, in 2017. As managing director, she has consistently exceeded financial targets through disruptive and creative strategies. She also founded The Terrace in 2023, which is a quaint and cozier rooftop vibe restaurant in Lagos. Tobi also owns Hamilton & Hamilton, a marketing agency, providing a platform for new and existing brands to penetrate markets through compelling storytelling and innovative strategies. Tobi does a lot of other things, and honestly, one of the questions I have for her is always like, how do you do it all? She's also a mom of one beautiful girl. And so I'm going to start, my first question for Tobi today.
Hi, M.O.T.
Hi, Tobi. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
I'm really happy to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you because you're literally just one of the most interesting people and most authentic.
Thank you.
You can see it from a mile off.
Thank you.
So, I have a cousin, right? And she does this thing every Christmas. Well, I don't know if she's done it in recent years, but she used to do this, where during Christmas, when we all gather, she'll ask everyone, how do you rate your year on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay.
And so for you, my question is, how do you rate your life at this life stage? Let's call it that.
And okay, let me be a bit technical. What is this rating based on?
Across board.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you just evaluated your life at the moment, and this life stage could be, starts at whatever point it starts at, what would you say?
And the scale, is it
1 to 10?
1 to 10. And what is number 1 and what's number 10? Not
One.
happy, very happy. I don't know. Okay. Right now, I would say, scale wise, I would answer this a bit logically and say probably average. I'd say maybe a 5. And the reason I would say that is because I think for me at the moment, it is very difficult to define my emotional and mental state. It is heavily influenced by what I have to do in that day. I'm finally learning pace, and I'm finally learning not to live in the past or in the future, and trying my possible best to just sit in the present. So for that, I would say maybe an average, because honestly, I still want a lot of sleep. I still want a lot of peace, like not having to worry about, oh my God, what's on my next to do on my list. So yeah, probably average, because I haven't figured out a lot of things, and it really probably gets to me that I haven't figured out a lot of things yet.
Okay, so talk us through, I guess not like every detail of your day, but what would you say are the key components of your day, of your daily life?
Right now is I try to section my day out. So even with my to-dos, it's in sections so that I can touch a few things through the day. It starts with daughter, home, my personal stuff first, make sure everything is in order, everyone is good, happy for the day. Then I look at the spectrum of the businesses, and I look at it from a week's perspective, actually. And then I divide it per day. So Monday is the house. Monday and Tuesday is the house. Wednesday is a terrace. So I kind of break it down like that. So through the day, make sure there are no urgents on the ones that are going to be neglected that day, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then school run as well is in that mix. Admin has to be in the mix. Eating has to be in the mix.
That's so real.
Taking my supplement has to be in the mix.
So real.
Then they tell me I have to do skincare too. Then I have to pick the outfit I'm going to wear as well. And then respond to emails, because obviously there's what you've planned to do. And then there's the things everyone wants from you as well. Then I decide, or rather, I think through what decisions I have to make. Because one of the things I've realized about myself recently is what causes me to burn out easy is decisions, is the amount of decisions I have to make in a day. It's quite a lot. So I just try and streamline, okay, how many decisions do I have to make today? Am I going to do approvals of which of the brands? Am I going to try to speak to my assistant? What approvals did I have to get through the day? What else? If possible, maybe throw in tennis or workout as well. If the day permits. No. I do that maybe 3 to 4 times a week. If the time permits. And then wind down routine as well. And don't forget to eat through that day.
Do you sleep? What time do you sleep?
On average, it works out at the moment about 2-3 a.m. And I wake up about 7:30 a.m.
4 hours.
Yes, but recently I have moved the dial back a bit. I'm doing about 12:30 now.
You make me feel so normal.
Okay.
I don't sleep either.
It's so bad. It is so
bad.
Yeah. I do about 4. That's the max. Even my body clock now. Wow. So even if I have a long time to sleep, I still wake up after 4.5 hours. Yeah.
I heard that this is terrible, by the way. So,
I know, but then I also wonder, what do they want us to do? Especially with young kids. I think it is very important for a lot of us women, one, who are entrepreneurs, secondly, who are ambitious, to actually accept that this is the stage.
Sleep is not part of it.
I think sleep and rest.
Rest, I agree.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about it from a medical perspective, right? I've been told over and over again that we need sleep. Is there anything you're willing to trade off to get more sleep? Yes.
And that's what I meant when I said I moved the dial back. Okay. So I decided to take some control, because one of the things I also noticed recently is a lot of the deterioration of health for a lot of us. And I'm wondering,
especially women.
Yes. And I'm wondering, is it the food? Is it the pollution? Is it the stress? Is it the anxiety? What exactly is in the mix of our day-to-day that is making lifespan shorter? I remember when you think of our parents who are living into their 60s, 70s, their parents lived into their 90s and 100s. And now we're having diseases and health issues in our 30s and 40s that we should be expecting in our 60s and 70s. So that is something that's been plaguing me a lot, especially as we grow older. We're no longer attending a lot of weddings anymore. It is now a lot of parents' funerals, a lot of children events. And that kind of forces you sometimes to kind of face your mortality or ask yourself questions am I actually really healthy? What am I doing all of this for? And when I started slowly thinking of it's still subconscious, I still haven't made the space, and I've not made those major lifestyle changes yet. But in thinking through them, I realized, okay, you need to sleep more. The least you can do is realize your body is a machine. When you have your phone, you charge it. When it gets hot, you remove the charger, you let it rest. Everything in your life, the generator, when you turn it on, is overworked. You have to turn it off to relax, and you have to service it regularly. So when I applied a lot of the machinery or the logical thinking to the fact that your body is also a machine, I ask myself, how much am I letting it work versus how much am I letting it shut down? And I realized that I was doing it a disservice, and at some point it would just keep breaking down. And so for that reason, I am dedicated to figuring out how to get more sleep. My first step was my Oura ring. to maybe like slowly start back in tracking it, and then working towards a better bedtime routine. So putting the phone far away from myself, turning off the lights, actually putting an eye patch on my eyes to make it heavy so that it can like just stop. I'm not there yet. It sounds so great. As I was saying, I was like, Tobi, wow, it sounds so lovely. I have a plan.
Time to execute it. What else? What other self-care practices do you have?
So, I'm learning. This is a recovering work addict. Like at this point, learning. So yes, skincare. I get bored sometimes when I'm doing it, and that's the problem. Like I find it so boring.
In fact, sometimes I say I'm a boy.
Just to get over it. So it's like the there and then there's all these theories that all these influencers are influencing me, and I'm easily influenced by good
skincare specifically
things that I'm not good at. I can be easily influenced, but when I say easily influenced, I like it. I know I'm being influenced and I welcome it because I also enjoy consumer behavior. So it's not like blind influence. I'm very much aware that I like you. I want you to influence me. So I'm going to go and buy it and try it so that I can just say that you influenced me.
It's a fantastic segue for me because, a lot of people talk about social media and how destructive it is. And, I mean, sure.
It is.
But I do think that it's a bit of an amplifier.
I think it's great.
Depends
on how you use it and how you consume it as well.
Where do you draw the line for yourself in terms of, what you're saying about allowing yourself to be influenced?
I think people, first of all, need to be honest with themselves about the difference between vanity and depth. When you, first of all, accept that spectrum exists and where you sit in that spectrum, I think you would figure out how to consume social media. Meaning, do you want to use it for the deep stuff or do you want to use it for the vain stuff? And for me, I go in, I decide what I want in this moment. I go in, I consume it. I'm very happy.
So you use it for both?
Yes.
Okay, just you pick when it's vain and when
it's
deep.
Absolutely. And what I mean by that is sometimes you're just looking at beautiful hot girls in nice clothes and it's like, it must be nice. You're so cute. I like that outfit. Okay, I like this outfit. I like how you've styled this. And it's literally purely just consuming. And other times I see someone's content and I'm like, oh my God, I really appreciate the depth of what they've just shown me. Or I see how a mom is handling her child and I'm like, I love that. Or I see wholesome content. Like I've messaged you a few times about your content as well. I love really wholesome content and I'm like, oh, this is how we should be living. I like that. And it's very educational too.
Absolutely. So that was going to be my next question is, does content or what you see on social media ever affect your state of being or your mental?
No, because my blockages are there. Like it's literally people showing you what they want you to see. The question is, are you receiving? Are you also going there to receive what you want to receive? Or are you, what is your mental state like in terms of how you receive information about other people's lives? So I think with social media consumption, the work starts with who you are first and what penetrates you and what doesn't. Are you a sponge? Or are you like, I don't know, are you a foam sponge or are you a waterproof sponge? Like you just have to ask yourself that question.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I like social media, I think.
So this, one of the questions I have for you today is one of the deep questions. And I want you to think very deeply about this.
Okay.
What would you say is the most important lesson that you have learned in your adulthood? Like life defining.
Wow. The biggest one for me that has been life changing and has let me be very grounded is not all opportunities are opportunities and some opportunities are distractions. And with everything, always start with why. So I live my life with those very two compasses. There's always start with why. Why am I even doing this? Why am I typing on social media? Why am I working this much? Why? Like, what's wrong? When I asked those questions, the day I asked myself, Tobi, why are you working so much? It was because I was so scared of not going back to not having. And when you ask why, you understand, and that makes life a bit easier because you know your why. Why are you not sleeping? Why are you hard on yourself? Why are you depressed? Why are you anxious?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then when you realize, like, not all opportunities are opportunities and some are distractions, it helps you pause for a second and just think about everything that gets presented to you, whether it be people, places, money, anything.
Absolutely.
You just think first. An opportunity, stop. Are you a distracting opportunity or are you an opportunity? And then that's the first layer. Then when they come through, the next question is, why am I doing this? Why have I let you in closer? So there's like layers of boundaries before accepting or doing anything. I think that has really, really, really been a strong life lesson up until now that I'm using. Hopefully I find another one for the next stage of life.
Yes. You mentioned not going back to not having.
Yes.
Tell me about your childhood. I don't know a lot about how you grew up.
A lot of people don't. I don't talk much about it. For me as well, there's a lot of trauma amnesia. I don't remember a lot from it. Yeah.
I absolutely can relate to trauma
amnesia. Yeah.
That's
I
a real thing.
don't remember a lot of it, but I remember like pockets. At the time when I first, so my life is so interesting because a part of my life was just me and my mom. And then there's another part of my life with my family. So most times is always, how do I describe that juxtaposition of it?
It's compartmentalized?
Very, I would say, like very compartmentalized. So because now my mom has remarried, I have my brother, my sister, it's almost like when people ask about my childhood, it feels like such a far time away. And most times I also wonder if I don't talk about it because I don't want to hurt her, or maybe I think of it as her past and now we're living in her future.
That makes so much sense. It's a very tricky thing to balance, especially as like Africans, Nigerians, talking about your truth, but feeling like you're saying too much about stuff that should be secret.
To be secret, exactly.
Almost. How old were you when your mom remarried?
I want to say about, that's this trauma, this amnesia. I want to say maybe like 11, 12. Oh, God, yeah, I want to say that.
What, I guess, broadly speaking, how would you characterize before you were 12 versus after? I was always ambitious. I always knew that my life was going to be different to the environment I was born in. So I think my mom had me in Ondo, I think. No, I'm sure, because she would always say she ran away to Lagos with me because she woke up one day and realized that the person she was with, like, she was practically like arranged marriage to him. She was really young and she was like given to this older man and stuff like that. So when she had me, it was like, yeah, we need to get out of here. Like, I want better for you. I don't know all of this. Yes, exactly. So I don't know how to answer that question, actually. I just have memories, like pockets of it. And then we came to Lagos, and I know like a lot of my childhood, she was absent because she had to travel to work. She used to buy and sell. So she would be gone for 2 years, like 1 year, 3, like it was very long period. So I would live with people. I would live with her sister or like family friends and stuff like that. No, I hated it. I actually still have a lot of issues with that. So a lot of people don't know this, but I struggle to go to people's homes and I struggle to stay over in people's houses. Like, it's such a thing. Or my bed, like, I don't know how to share. Like, I want my own. And then I need to make my world smaller.
So anytime I'm home, I cannot occupy the whole house at a time. It stresses me out. I need a small corner, a small space at small periods, because that's how I grew up when I lived with people.
And being forced to...
Not even being, yes, I guess being forced, but I needed to make my world smaller. Like I needed to just escape what was happening around me. Yeah, so I still have a bit of that till today. My rooms have to be cozy. I need dim, like I just need my world small. I need to be by myself as well. I'm actually more of a loner than people realize, because with living with people, you just want to crouch all the time. Yeah.
And how would you say that this has shaped the life you envision for your child? What's maybe the biggest thing you've taken away, and said, apart from, like you already said, not having as much, you're working really hard to provide.
Yes.
But just in terms of the life you want your child to have, what do you think would say is like the biggest thing from your childhood that you're like, this is not happening, or this is absolutely going to happen?
The biggest thing I actually want for her based on my childhood is just to be street smart and sharp. I actually would really want my child. What? Extremely. Like through me in Baloguna, my Yoruba will come out like Omoyami Baoni. Like no, like be street smart. Like I grew up in Olonade Street, like Muritala Mohammed Yaba. Like I was that kid in singlet on the road. Like I'm comfortable anywhere. Like anywhere. Like I can. And when we're younger as well, like my parents were Celestians. So imagine like I would live in Muritala Mohammed and our church was in Sabo, and I would walk barefoot. Like it was not a big deal. So when it comes to being street smart, like I got it.
But how are you going to pull this off? Because you don't.
I know.
Your daughter is not walking anywhere barefoot right now.
God.
So what's the plan? Like,
I think about this sometimes, and I think I'm not obsessed with trying to raise my child based on what I went through or didn't go through. I don't even see her as an extension of me. Healthy. I genuinely see her as her own person, and her own reality right now is what it is. So my only job is to figure out how to equip myself with tools and the knowledge of how to teach her to navigate the current life. And that's my only job. I don't have any predisposed. Be respectful, be kind, be a good person, be sharp.
Yeah, and so be sharp for your context, not for your mommy's context.
Yes, for your context. Like, I don't know what the world would be like in your generation. I don't know what guys will be like in your generation. I don't know what girls will be like in your generation. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But if I raise you based on my experiences, I'm actually handicapping you, because imagine I say, oh, don't do this because in my time we did it this way. Like, come on, that is gone.
Yeah.
It's now. Yeah. Which is what I think a lot of our parents did with us.
Absolutely.
They raised us based on
their world. They prepared us for the world they grew up in.
Exactly. So I'm going to try not to do that. Keyword try.
Absolutely.
Yes.
To what degree would you say you've been shaped by marriage and motherhood? Like who you are as a person. I used to be this, but now
yes.
I don't recognize her. Like what would you say those two things? And which one has actually changed you more?
I'd say maybe being a wife more than being a mom. Being a mom, I would say that what I feel the most about being a mom is the constant actions that I have to perform daily. But in terms of mothering, I think instinctively I've always been a little bit of a nurturer. So nothing I'm doing for her is new to me. And I always tell women this, like, try not to see your womanhood when certain things happen. I didn't need to be a wife or an actual mom to my own child to feel some of the feminine things nature already deposited inside of me. So I was always a nurturer by nature. However, I would say being a wife also prepared me for motherhood, because there's a lot of giving and taking and exchange that you have to perform every day. And most importantly, one of the things marriage taught me was I would not always win in every moment. And when you're single, I'm a cute girl, you know, I go about life. Life worked for me. If I'm talking to someone who's not serving me, I'm removing myself. Whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, I'm just not tolerating it. And then you decide to be with somebody, and the days they annoy you, the days they make you happy, the exchange might not work out for you. And I had to learn how to lose even in interactions. And by lose, I use it sounds a lot graver than it is. But what I mean by that is, as a woman, it's very difficult to accept when you're wrong. And I'm quite smart. I'm hardly ever wrong, I think. You know, sometimes you're exchanging with this person, you're trying to tackle a problem, and you might not agree with what they're saying, but unfortunately, both of you, there has to be a resolution. And I found out it cannot always be my way. And that was very difficult to accept for a very long time. So the moment I started learning to lose, so in some situations, maybe I'm right, but we're going to go with your way this time. And I apologize if I made you feel a certain way. Man, that thing is hard to do. And I think it really, really has helped me with a lot with life. It's helped me with my team. It's helped me even prepare for motherhood, because the level of selflessness that I have to give this little human, I already started practicing it with a big human that I'm more likely to say no to. Yeah, so.
How long have you been married now?
Officially 4 years, because I live with all my boyfriends. Yeah, so I play house before I officially marry. Okay. Yeah, I'm that child. My parents have disowned me a few times for it, but yeah, I live with all my boyfriends. So yeah, that's what I mean by officially.
Did that teach you anything?
Yes, it helps me know how. It helps me really get to know how we can coexist together in a positive, progressive manner. And don't quote me, I feel like a lot of men, when they date you, a lot of men don't play house. Yeah, and a lot of men are not taught or trained on the domestic, on the journey of what the moment you marry and you guys are together, the domestics, the everything, they are a little bit more clueless. So I just like to check. So I like to just check to see what we're going to work with, to see if, okay, when we get into this union and this unity and we're now in the same space, how are we interacting, our voices, what our voice pitch is like during disagreements. Like, I need to know all of that before we go ahead. Absolutely. Yes, because I've been divorced before. I'm not trying. Yeah, I know, probably. But when like, she's like, oh my God, topic. No, we're going to skim over it. I'm like, I thought I knew. Yeah. And, you know, there's no need to keep going through that cycle. So as much control I can get, I will seek it. I think, I mean, again, I have no context for that. I feel like I'm meeting you for the first time. But I'm not in your marriage, obviously, but I think you definitely seem like you learned something, because you seem like you have a very beautiful partnership now. For sure. Learning, key. Sure. I think with different people is always different. I think you'd kind of go through the journey again, but experience helps, because you're going with it with a little bit more, you know, stamps on your shoulder, like, okay, I got this. Don't worry, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. But what would you say is I guess you kind of already touched on it, which was learning to lose. But would you say that that's the biggest success factor in your marriage so far? Or is there something else? I think the right partner. Oh, the person. Yes.
Okay, so did you go into your relationship with a sort of like checklist, like, okay, this sort of person I'm looking for?
I only date kind nerds, if possible.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
Well, that
can't
makes
do.
sense.
I don't. Girls, good luck. I don't know how you guys do your bad boys. I cannot. I can't. I really like nerds. I like good people.
Have you
I
always
like kind
really
people.
liked nerds?
Yes.
Even when you were young and your frontal lobe wasn't developed?
All my
that's
boyfriends
good.
have been good people.
If you had to make a list
Mhm.
or come up with a few attributes
Mhm.
of a partner,
Mhm.
what would you, other than kind? You already said kind and you said
Kind.
nerd, but like,
Nerd is not,
you
but
know,
kind.
or actually let me rephrase.
I like
let me
witty
rephrase
men.
the question. Okay, wit.
I love wit.
Knowing all you do now,
Yeah.
you know, you've been married for a few years, you've lived with your husband for even more.
Yes.
Hindsight.
Yes.
What would you be like? I need this in a partner. I need this. Like, what are the important things?
Kind. Someone you respect and someone who commands your respect. It's not just about the person respecting you. Do you respect them too? Because if you don't, something is still going to be off. So
Absolutely.
mutual respect is key for me. Wit. I love wit. Like, just, my husband has the deadpan humor. Like, his wit is like that. And I really like that. So I like intelligence. I want to look up to you, you know? Supportive. As a woman, growing up, a millennial woman, they groomed you for marriage more than anything else. They prepare you, good girl, respect your elders, go to school, read a book, have a job, then wait to be plucked so you can get married. And nobody really prepares you if you decide you want to be ambitious or you want to do something for yourself or you want to make this money. And I feel like a lot of us women, I don't know about you, for me, marrying the right man has actually empowered me more than a lot of things.
1000%.
Than, like, and you know, it's so interesting because there's this, I'm still a feminist. I'm still this strong woman who is like, yes, I'm a woman. I can do all of this. And I'm like, oh, baby, please help me. I need your support. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
But I realized that my strength also comes from him recognizing the soft and hard parts of me. But his support feels like a pedestal. So it feels like I climb on his support and then I go and shine. And that, I don't know how to quantify what it does for me. Like, for me to be with someone who asks about my work every day, if I have to work till late, he's like, okay, what can I do? How can I help? I will do baby in the morning. You don't have to wake up. And like, he's constantly willing to pass the baton to me and sees me as an equal, even though I
confess.
Literally, I'm like, I am not equal to you in any way, shape, or you see all that thing I say outside, baby. The moment is done, I lied. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Tobi,
no.
So you think that you're one of those women who live the double standard?
I think a lot of us do. At the end of the day, like, I think a lot of us do. And you know, the thing with feminism as well is the waters sometimes get a bit muddled. And I feel like we have to understand what we are actually speaking about, the actual intricate details of what it means.
Absolutely.
In my journey with feminism, I do not seek or see men on that journey. My journey is really trying to elevate, shed light, and heighten some of the things women are doing that they're probably shy to talk about, scared to talk about, feeling inadequate to talk about. That's my journey, is just to make you see yourself as a human being too, that deserves everything that you want, however way you choose.
Absolutely.
It is not a pitch against a man. I don't.
No, I love that you said, in my view of feminism, I don't see men.
I don't see them.
Because it's just not about them.
It's not. That is like, my point. It's not about them. I had a conversation with someone recently where they were like, they saw another woman's post in our community who is very strong in her stance in feminism, but people
against feminism.
No, in feminism.
Okay.
But a lot of people misconstrue what feminism is, especially men as well. And I try to explain to this woman, like, her journey is to, you see these trousers you're wearing, auntie. What she's saying is to help you wear more trousers. She's not saying don't talk to men, hate men. She's just saying that she wants to give you more rights so that if you choose to rise, someone is not pressing you down.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, if that is what double standard is, then yeah, I take it.
No, I don't think that's what the double standard is. I mean, I completely agree with your stance, and I really struggle when women say that they're not feminists.
I think
I really struggle with that.
I think they don't understand what they are saying when they say that, because all women, you are enjoying the benefits of feminism.
Absolutely.
You cannot not be a feminist.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it's like a black person saying I'm not a pro-black.
But there are a lot of them, sadly enough. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe we are seeing the people who have genuinely lost the plot, and we should not be focused
just
on them. Yeah, like for who they are.
No, because it's literally like a black person saying, I am not in support of the advancement of black people. That's literally what a woman says when she says I'm not a feminist.
I think it's lack of understanding, and honestly, that is why there's a theories of lions versus sheep. Not everybody will be able to understand things in the depths that you want them to understand. The world cannot be filled with everybody getting it. It cannot work like that. Yeah.
So speaking on the double standard, what I do think that the double standard is, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, I think that, to your point about how we were raised as millennial women, I don't know about you, but nobody told me that I was going to pay school fees when I got married. So it's like, and it's not like, oh, I can't afford to pay my daughter's school fees. It's just that's not how I was raised. So as much as I wasn't raised in a household where it's like, oh, your brother is above you or anything, there were subtle messages that we were told about different things. So he was told that he's going to provide a roof over his head, his wife's head, and take care of his wife and pay his children's school fees and provide what we call chop money. Nobody told me that. I mean, they told me to work, be intelligent, do well in school, get a great job, but it was for myself. It wasn't with the responsibility of taking care of a family. And I think that's where the double standard exists. Because we get married and we're like,
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Like, okay, I mean, I can,
but I didn't know that I was, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense. I actually feel, with me and millennial women, I actually give them a little bit of grace. A little bit. I think they're between generations. I call us the sacrificial generation. They want us to learn too many things too quickly. We're born by baby boomers, and all of a sudden, tech. It's in our generation, tech started. It's in our generation, the internet started. It's in our generation, we had a pandemic. It's in our generation, we had the banking crisis. It's in our generation. We've gone through so much. It's in our generation we saw immigration get tightened from nowhere, because our parents had more freedom, and then in our generation it tightened up so tightly we don't even realize. It's in our generation, like, a lot of economic factors happened. So we're going through so many changes. A lot of people are genuinely confused. They look up, they see their parents. They look down, they see Gen Z. Who should I be?
I actually don't even think that either of those two generations have it figured out. Also,
exactly.
So you're confused.
So we're kind of like in the middle, and we're like, okay, what should we do? Should we accept this internet age? No. My parents, no, too archaic. Like, what should I do? So a lot of people are genuinely confused.
Maybe the status quo is confusion.
I think
and we should stop trying to have it figured out.
Yes,
Because-
and also a lot of people need to repel shame and embarrassment and just like live as well. Because our generation carries a lot of the secrecy and privacy that our parents passed on to us. And there's a freedom the Gen Z is bringing to the table that is a bit too scary, it's too fast. So people are kind of sometimes a little stuck.
So I have one more question on marriage, and then I want to switch gears, which is, you know, we're kind of joking around this whole gender roles, feminism, and the
Yes, yes.
But how traditional would you say your marriage is? Like, let's be real with each other. You know, because we're all like, oh, I'm a feminist.
No.
We don't do like our parents did.
No, I'm dating a millennial man. A lot of men in their 30s and 40s, I would say maybe we have a cap from like 28 down. From 28 up, very traditional as far as I'm concerned. I love my marriage. My husband is traditional, but I can see he's an exposed man. And also working against the things he thought he knew, I can see him doing that for himself and for me. So he's also unlearning and relearning. So little things like, oh, wow, okay, I have to change diapers. Yes, boo, you do. Okay, she's going to leave me for a few days because she has to travel for work. Okay, I'm going to take it on. It's me and my daughter. He didn't prepare for it, but he's not opposed to trying to do it. So I would say, so he's still a traditional man in terms of, I can see little snippets of a lot of things that were never taught to him, or a lot of things he doesn't naturally drift towards learning. So imagine you have a baby with a man, you're both supposed to be figuring out, but my Nigerian man would just be like, so what do you want me to do? And he's like, what do you mean? What do I want you to do? We both had this baby. I don't know either. And he's like, okay, baby, how's her neck? What's wrong with her? She's coughing. This is that. And I'm like, I don't know either. Like, basically, you're literally become the god of all the answers in your home. Like, even with himself, oh, I have a headache, baby, what should I do? Darling.
You know, it's fascinating how men don't understand.
Darling.
Don't ask me
anything.
Like, you're adding to my work.
They don't know that mental journey of, like, Kerry can say, baby, where is this water? Baby, where's my socks? Baby, to me, you know. And then also another thing as well that I noticed that makes me know he's traditional is when we need to all go out to leave the house, my husband is showering and dressing himself up, and he forgets that there's me and another little human. So I have to dress her up, quickly do all of this, pack her diaper bag. And he's just like, are you ready? And I'm like, babe, some help? Like, can you help me hold her? Can you put on her shoe? It doesn't come natural. It just doesn't.
No, I can count the number of times we've gone out and my husband has remembered that the diaper bag exists. It's just going.
Eggs.
Like,
they just go.
I mean, sometimes he might dress her up, but that diaper bag,
he doesn't even know what's inside. It's when we're out, it's like, oh, do we have this? Do we have tissues? Me, yes, it's there. Oh, baby, we need sanitizer. The right hand corner. Oh, baby, that corner, this corner. So yeah.
So my question is, what do you get in return? Because I can see some people looking at this conversation and be like, see these two stupid girls.
Like, feminism.
And then you think it's cute that your husband doesn't know how to pack a diaper bag. But what do you get in return? Or why is that okay to you?
First of all, I'm very efficient. So efficiently, when he's changing the diaper, I'm also part of the problem because I cannot peacefully let him change the diaper the way he would do it. Have you seen how he pulls that Velcro thing? Then he will rip.
Tobi.
Then he will do like this. Then he will do like this.
Use another diaper.
Then when he finishes, the baby's pee still comes out because he did not put the diaper properly. So I'm like,
we'll change her clothes. He will change her clothes. And
then
next
I'll
time,
be watching them do all of that inefficiency. It stresses me out. So except I walk away.
Walk away.
Then that's the only
Take
way
a
it can
walk.
work. Yeah, then that's it. Then I can walk away. But honestly, what do I get in return? I get someone who is willing to learn. I'm natural. I develop people. I love developing. So there are a lot of things he has taught me that no one taught me as a woman. Financial literacy, how to manage my cash flow, how to save, how to empower myself. Like Kavi will be like, this one, put it here. You cuckoo like looking at money, put it here. This one, do this. Like this one, convert it. Like he'll tell me what to do. Have you hit your saving goals? How much do you have? If I've not hit it, he'll top it up to help me hit it. There's a lot of education he has taught me that was poured into him. So growing up, different things was poured into both of us. So now we are exchanging that information. So even sometimes with his daughter, like recently I was like, oh babe, you're not, you're so busy with work. You need to spend time with her where you are not thinking about anything else. So you need to like do this and do that. And he's like, oh, thank you for that. So he's not doing it from a place of not wanting to. He doesn't know. No one told him. And similarly for me, he helps me with everything else. Like, and he's also quite hands-on. Like mornings, I don't do mornings if he's around. So he wakes up, makes sure she's good, drops her off in school. So I get my mornings because I don't sleep early enough. So like there's a very, very good exchange. I don't know how to sit and write like, okay, I get this and he gets this, but I know that with every two people you bring together, there will be strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I think you should plot that with the person you're getting married to and know their weaknesses and their strengths and exchange it with them. And yes, with a lot of millennial men, a lot of the domestic stuff, unfortunately, you will have to teach them. So if you like black men and you like Nigerian men, it's where we are.
It is.
Yeah. I tell my friends who can't do it, I'm like, just date outside the race.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I only like black Nigerian men, so we're where we are.
I like my husband. I wouldn't say I like men too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always knew I would date a Nigerian man.
I'm just saying that, you know, it's just
men,
like,
men.
The worst.
It's another topic entirely. I'm actually planning an interesting series, but yeah, we'll come to it. Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, there is, I think knowledge sharing is extremely important. And that's one of the reasons why we're sitting here today. I think we can learn so much from each other. I also think we can learn from, there's a lot to learn from our parents' generation.
A lot.
And because of the secrecy, there isn't a lot of information available. Exchanged. If you could sit down any Nigerian woman, older, you know, Gen X, boomer, older, and ask her a question, who would it be? And what would you ask her?
Nigeria? So there are two women I really, really love. So I'll mention both their names and yeah. Auntie Rennie Falawio. Oh God. Auntie Rennie.
Good.
Love her.
Good.
And Auntie Foluke Abdulrazak.
Okay.
Like, love. The two things I would ask them is, how have you built a world around your family, but still have such strong business acumen and footprint in the world? They're so close to their children, both those women.
I don't know Mrs. Abdulrazak, but
her sons, this is how she is with her three boys. Auntie Foluke. No. Like, when I say they're close, the same way Auntie Rennie is with her children is similar. And similarly, I mean, we all know what Auntie Rennie does or has been doing. Auntie Foluke as well. She was a diplomat at some point. And I just don't know how they were able to get to this heightened career levels, have to deal with so many external factors, still raise strong, independent children that are an extension of themselves. Because both of them, you would notice they're not imposing themselves on their children. You can just see that they're friends. They're friends. How are they able to do that and then also still stay friendly with their husbands as well, and still maintain a graceful air about themselves also in society? I think it's a lot of moving parts. I think it's a lot of hard thing. It's a very hard thing to do. And what sacrifices they had to make on that journey and what they would do differently. Yes, I really want to know.
I think I need to sit down with them and ask these questions. Because that's literally why we're doing what we're doing. It's like, how do you get to where you are?
I want to be friends with my daughter when she's older. I want to have reached a good career level. I want to still be friends with my husband and still maintain my marriage, because that is also a hard thing to maintain as both of you are going on that journey, and still have the respect of people and still be able to give and still keep building in your 50s. I don't know how old they are, but like,
I'm turning 60.
Do you see how?
And you should add and look the way
you
do.
Look the way you do. Can we add that too?
Yeah.
And I like their liberation and the freedom they have afforded themselves of the shackles of expectations. But it's still very rooted in culture. But culture does not control them. I want to know. I have to play this for both of them. Yeah, I really
We're going to
know.
get them.
Please,
we're going
can
to have
I join you in talking to them?
No, we have to have this conversation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would like to know that.
Yeah. I agree. That's a very good answer. And Antoine is probably one of the people I would ask like it doesn't. Like she won't be able to shut me up. Because I completely agree with you, especially that relationship with her
children. Yes.
It's like every time I see her and her daughter, I'm just like,
and still being free.
I can't wait.
And she's
I just hope I get there though,
as well.
Do
you understand? A lot of women have to hide because they think they need to raise their daughters, need to see them in their best form at all times. Yes.
Yeah. So just, I guess my last question on motherhood is, how would you want your daughter to describe you in 20 years?
These questions are always so interesting because I deposit myself to the school of evolving and not knowing who I will be at different points. It would always be good, I hope. I say that to say, I want her to see me as remarkable to her. I cannot honestly say that I can impose any definition on her, because however way she describes me will be great. I'm quite confident in that. But I don't know that I can quite say this is how I want her to describe me. But remarkable, kind, and somebody who, do you know what? The things I do and the things I've done, they will be footprinted around her. And I would be curious to see how she describes me. So maybe we'll do this again in 20 years and hear it. But I really don't know. And I don't know why I can't answer that question. It's so, I find it quite rigid to answer that. I've been asked a few times, and every time I find it very rigid because I don't know. I don't know her thought process. I'm not sure what she's going to think of me. Is she going to think I'm hardworking, or is she going to think she needed more rest? Is she going to see my hard work as what encouraged her? Is she going to see it as what made her realize she would want to do things differently? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, remarkable. I think that's as simple as it is.
To what degree do you think that we shape our children?
I think by observing. They watch a lot. They see through. Okay. you see how a lot of people, let me use Nigeria as an example. You have staff. You think you're in control. You're really not. They probably know you more than you know yourself to an extent, because everything is patterns. It's how do you do this? How do you do that? And I think the same happens with children. They're little, they're growing their brain, they're growing their motor skills, they're growing their, I don't know, neuron skills, they're growing their mindsets, their values, and in all of that, they do that by watching and doing. So I think you shape your children by just existing.
And you think it works?
100%, yes. I think it works, but I also think a lot of external factors will also shape them. So I cannot measure the degree or the probability or which is more, but I know that at some point, using myself as an example, your mom's voice or your parents' voice is loud in the beginning, then you get to a certain age, it's in your subconscious. It is not the only one you're hearing. You're probably even connecting with your friends more. You're connecting with society, the TV, the news, the trends. Those voices become louder. Your parents become background and subconscious, especially during your teenage, early adult. Then when you get into your late 20s, you start to hear it louder again because you drowned it, but it comes back to the forefront. So yeah, I think our parents shape us a lot, but I also think a lot of external factors shape us as well.
Okay, so you said something about the possibility that your daughter would think that you worked too hard.
It's a possibility.
What?
I think my mom worked too hard. I think she still does. Yeah.
And so do you?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
What do you think is the hardest part of your job currently?
The mental load of managing multiple people across different things every day.
How many people do you manage?
At the moment, 176 permanent, about 28 28 auxiliary staff, I would say. So they're still full-time, but they're on retainers, if that makes sense. So about 176 plus 28, we're about just over 200.
Do you know what your attrition rate is?
I know my retention.
Okay.
No, my attrition. Retention at the moment, from inception, I would say I'm at 30%. I still have about 30% of people from inception. And on a year-to-year basis, I would say we hold on to about 60%. And then we've also done a decent job in teaching people how to also be good leavers as well. So even our turnover is not, our drastic turnover is really low. So people don't just quit on us anymore. Really yeah, slowly, but surely we got there.
What is one thing that you'd say is the foundation of culture
for me?
Your organization?
It is have fun, think, and remember is one vision, and it's all of us contributing to that one vision. And I think it has really, like, our culture is pretty decent. On Monday, we're actually we're building new values, because I think a lot of them have forgotten it. So because we now have a lot of new people. So we need to revisit. So I'm doing an exercise on Monday where me and all 200 of us, we're going to determine our values together again. And we're also doing a yard sale. So all our old stuff, all my old clothes, everything, we're going to sell it out as well for the staff.
You do these things for both companies regularly at the same time?
This will be, so our end of year retreat we do together. Most other things we do separately. This one, I want to bring it together because I can see a divide. When I'm done expanding the house, then my goal is to figure out how to run a group business. Right now, separating them works better for me mentally.
I've never thought about that. There's a mindset shift that's required to
run a group business to separate. Separate now, it's I treat them as two different places, but there needs to be a point where I think of it as a group. So what does that mean? There are little factors, you know, how do you exchange staff? How do you joint procurement? Resources, joint team members as well. So I need to figure that out first before I do it.
And how often do you evaluate progress?
Every month.
Business or self?
Self is continuous. Like my assistant will tell you, I'm constantly, my to-dos, something can be on my to-dos for 2 years. And I'm very clear it will be there for that long because I have timelines for everything. I'm quite structured and quite rigid. So I would say measuring my progress maybe once a quarter. I have an idea what I want to do in the beginning of the year, what this year is. Like for me now, 2025 is building again. It's not a glamorous year for me work-wise at all. It's a lot of projects, a lot of raising money, a lot of being broke. Like I'm at such a, like, it's a very tough period at the moment. Now measuring it would be, I've measured in March, I'll measure again in June, I'll measure in September. What I just measure the progress of the build.
Quarters.
Yes, and so I would say quarterly. I like to do it quarterly, yeah.
You just mentioned fundraising, and you've done that?
Yes.
At least once before?
A few times. Yes.
How have you navigated it? What has been your experience in fundraising?
Yeah.
Especially as a woman, especially in Nigeria?
Hard. In the beginning, it was, I'll be honest, when I started the house fundraising, it was irritating actually. I felt like a lot of people didn't even take me seriously or even understand the premise. You say in Nigeria, the issue is not always one-sided, it's always both ways. I find that I was looking for funds, inexperienced. The people giving the funds, inexperienced. So all of us are just confused. So people who are even giving you money don't even know why or what they should be giving you money for then, at the time, in my experience. And then there's also the woman factor of, you know, if you're, depends on if you go to the wrong people, they're like, you're a fine girl, let me take care of you, la-di-la-di-la-di-la.
They're kidding me.
There's those ones. They're the people who the process is quite long-winded. So from the ask to any money coming out, you're going back and forth for months, and you have to ask yourself, There are also people who bring out money easily, but you have to ask yourself, do I want it? Why is it so easy? What do I stand to gain? What's the ROI? So I found the beginning, the first one was really tough because I first of all had to go through the different types of investors first. I didn't even understand the different types of investors. I didn't understand the different ways to raise money. But I find that for the second one, I was more confident. I was clear. I now knew there were investors who wanted money back. There were investors who just want something on their portfolio in your industry. There's some investors who want the image of it. There's some investors who just like the entrepreneur and they're investing in the person. There's some people who it's the region that's attractive to them. They've always wanted something in Africa and they're like, oh, perfect, I'll do that. So the moment I equipped myself with the knowledge of that, I felt like things became easier. So by the time I did it, the first one was with the house. That was so tough. And my husband helped me a lot with that because he's an investment banker. So he was very structured in how he taught me how to navigate it. So we did part crowdfunding, part actually getting money from people. We did part leasing as well. And then we did some debt. So anyone who also brought in equity also had to bring in some debt as well. So it helped. The second time I raised money was my work with Beyond. And with that one, it was like I felt more experienced. So it was literally just approaching. Once I knew what the founder of the brand wanted in terms of the kind of money she was looking for, it was very clear where to go to navigate that, to bring that in. Then the third time I did it was with my current expansion with the house. But what I did this time was a lot of debt. I'm not a big boy. I'm now clear on how to do it, but I wanted debt a lot for the current expansion. I also have a project in the UK at the moment that we're working through, and that I did through equity as well. And once again, that it was finding the right investors who wanted something in the UK. They wanted a business in this industry I'm going into, and they wanted something that was scalable as well. So I now knew how to kind of map the different types of investing and how to divide them between debt, equity, or what work I was also willing to do, because with debt, you're under more pressure.
Absolutely.
With equity, is less pressure, but then there's somebody to answer to. Yeah. So yes.
And the pressure depends on who the somebody is.
As well too, exactly.
What 3 tips would you give a woman who is trying to raise a fund?
Lately, people tell me I want to raise money. And I ask how much. They don't know. First problem. I want to raise money. Do you want debt or equity? They don't know. I want to raise money. What kind of money? What denomination? Like, what kind of money? They don't know. I think my first tip is know what you want first. Get that deck done. Get that financial deck done. Once you get that done, knowledge is power. Technically, knowledge is confidence.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So power seems like a big thing you have to attain. So I'll simplify. Knowledge is confidence. When you know, you can say it out loud first of all, because at every point you're meeting someone and saying, I want to raise money, but you cannot answer the question off the bat, you already look unserious. So know what you want first and the amount of money you want. That's one. Second thing I would say is understand the types of investors you want. People are also so washed by the tech way of raising money these days that it's become a buzzword. I want to raise money. And it's like, well, do you need to raise money, or do you potentially need to start that business on a smaller scale and generate it and get it to kind of start operating itself? Or are you actually raising money, or you just need a small loan? I don't think you need to kind of make it a big, I need to raise money. So there's a buzz going around. So I was talking to a young woman. I try to mentor a lot of small businesses because I want as many of them to generate as possible, because what would help Nigeria get to a state of having middle class, which will help the economy, is as many people as possible working and exchanging money, hand to mouth economy, basically. And when I asked her how much she needed, she said she needs to raise money. And I said, how much do you need? And she said 100K. And I said, okay.
What currency?
Naira. She just needed to buy a few things to do. And I said, you don't need to raise money. You just need a loan. You need to call people and ask who will give you the loan. And I sent her the money. And I was like, you didn't raise money. You just asked and money was sent to you to start what you need to. So for me, is be careful of the box you place yourself and know the investment and the types of investment you're looking for. And lastly, know that not all money is good money, and not all money will work well for you. Some people's money comes very weighted with a lot of conditions, a lot of extras, a lot of things that you might never be able to fulfill. So be clear from the beginning what you have promised someone to do with their money. Money is such a delicate thing, and people who are also collecting money from people need to understand they've taken something from someone. What are you promising that person back? Be clear on that from the beginning and fulfill it. If you can't fulfill it, go and get in front of it very quickly. Because I think it's very hard. The reason why some of these things are so hard is because some people have messed it up for other people. So people just keep saying, I want to raise money. And it's like, okay, what are you going to give the person back? They've given you their money. Now what? How many years? What should I expect? So have that clearly laid out. As if it's nothing, be clear and say, I'm giving you nothing back. But at least let those terms be clear, because I'm seeing a lot of partnerships going awry and bad just because the conversations around the money was not clear in the beginning. So yeah.
And in all of this that you do you have time for friends?
Yes,
Do you
I
think
do actually. Yeah, not in the way. I feel like my friendships are slightly different. If you need me to be an day-to-day, everyday cliquey, I can't. So yeah, you lose me then. Like not in a, oh my God, you lose me, but I won't be able to be the person
fulfill
you
what
want.
you're looking for.
Yes. I think for me, my friendships, my friendships are very simple. I can't do high maintenance. I cannot promise you a lot at a time. I can only give you what I can give you in that moment. So yes, I do have time for friends, but my friendships are great. They're so mature, they're so simple, they're so peaceful, and they're very supportive. And they are watered when we are able to water them. Meaning, if I'm not able to water my friendship with you in this situation, in this moment, I expect you to please help us garden it too. And wait. Then I'll come and pluck the flower when I have time. Basically.
That's so real. That's so real.
I can't be there every day I can be there when you call. I'm there. I'm very consistent. I'm very present when you need me. But in the day-to-day, I'm like a tornado. Yeah. So.
Tobi, thank you.
Thank you
so much. This has been amazing talking to you.
Thank you so much.
And I feel like we're going to do some more of
I'm
this in the
excited.
future.
Thank you so much. Thank you.